UFC 319 has now come and gone. There were a lot of amazing fights that went down, and now I'm going to be going through a lot of the guys that fought on the card and picking what their next fight should be. We're going to get right into it, kicking off with the main event. Of course, Khamzat Chimaev beat Dricus du Plessis in dominant fashion to get the middleweight title, and I think his first title defense should be against the winner of Kyle Barallo versus Nassourdine Imavov that's going down in a couple of weeks at UFC Paris. This is the definition of a number one contenders fight. Both of these guys have been climbing up the rankings, and now they're facing each other for a chance at the title. This fight makes sense. The timelines are going to add up. These guys are both going to be ready to fight. Hopefully, I mean, Khamzat said towards the end of the year. He even said October. That's definitely not going to happen. But I think if you can get these guys somehow in, maybe on the December pay-per-view or January, the winner of this fight can fight Khamzat Chimaev for the title January 2026. Sounds like a plan to me. Makes a lot of sense. DDP also is going to be needing an opponent, and I think he should take some time off after that loss. Yeah, he didn't take any damage whatsoever, but he did lose in pretty dominant fashion. Like, that was a bad loss. I know it's Khamzat, I know he's a beast, but you still don't want to lose like that, especially in a title fight. So he can take some time, and I think he should look to come back against RDR. Now on to the co-main. Lerone Murphy sent Aaron Pico to the Shadow Realm, and I think, yeah, he should probably get a title shot, but I think it is a little undeserved. Like, his resume isn't insane, but I think right now there isn't a clear contender in the featherweight division. Yeah, you can maybe say the winner of Lopez versus Gene Silva. Maybe if Gene Silva wins especially, you could definitely do that, which is... The UFC's probably going to wait for that. Honestly, that fight's in a couple of weeks. If Gene Silva wins that, I think he will get the title shot. And then Lerone will probably have to fight like a Yair Rodriguez. That'd be a sick fight, honestly. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to say that happens. I'm going to say Gene Silva beats Diego Lopez. He'll fight Volkanovski for the title, and then Lerone Murphy is going to have to take one more fight before the belt, and it's going to be against Yair Rodriguez. Yair needs another win if he wants to fight for the title. I think Lerone does as well. It makes sense. For Aaron Pico, honestly, I don't even know what you give him at this point. Give him like a Dan Ige or a Giga Chikadze. He's going to need a lot of wins to get anywhere near a title. That was just brutal from him. And yeah, it's an ugly knockout. He's going to need to take time, book him against someone towards the bottom of the rankings. Carlos Prates got a nice KO versus Jeff Neal as well, and he needs a fight. He said Leon Edwards. He wants to fight Leon Edwards in Brazil. Quick turnaround. I don't hate that suggestion, honestly. I don't think it's going to happen because there's no way Leon would accept that. But if it weren't to be Leon Edwards, I'm going to say it should be Joaquin Buckley. I think Buckley, he needs to get back in there after that loss to Usman, and he needs to try and get a big win back, and Carlos Prates is exactly that. And for Prates, if he goes out there and KOs Buckley, then I think he's probably one fight away from a title shot, honestly. So, makes sense for both guys. I do like the Leon Edwards matchup. If that's what they do, I'm okay with it, but I'm going to say Buckley is probably the more likely outcome. Michael Venom Page picked up a massive win against Jared Cannonier as well. He looked awesome. MVP is low-key becoming a sneaky contender in the middleweight division. I'm really torn on who he should fight next. I want to say Israel Adesanya because I think that fight would just be awesome, but they don't want to fight each other. They say they're friends, so whatever. I guess we can't really go that route. So if I was going to pick somebody, I would probably pick Sean Strickland, and that's probably not a name a lot of people have heard, but I think it makes sense. It's two guys that want to strike, two guys that don't really want to hit you unless they totally have to, and I think it would be for an interesting fight. One of them would probably just pick up a decision win, let's be honest. No one's getting KO'd in that fight, but either way, the winner of that could really set themselves up for a title shot because, I mean, at the end of the day, the UFC is going to want to try and make Khamzat Chimaev versus Sean Strickland, and Strickland has quite a bit of work to do, in my opinion, to get to that spot. So I think he needs to start here with MVP. If he can get a win over MVP, get another win after that potentially, or if it's a good, nice win, a flashy win, which it won't be, but if it is, then that could set himself up for a title shot because there's no other way he gets it versus Khamzat right now. He hasn't done enough, so he needs a win here and one more, and I think it sets him up. And for MVP, you get a win over a former champ. You put yourself in line for a title shot as well. And lastly, we're going to end with Jared Cannonier, and I think there's a few options for him, as there always is for Cannonier. He's fought literally everyone, but I'm going to say Brendan Allen. He's coming off of a big win versus Marvin Vettori, and I think these two fighting, just, it makes sense. It's a nice Passover fight, as I would call it, a fight that you just throw anywhere on a pay-per-view or just maybe as an Apex main event. It's a nice filler fight, and yeah, that's probably what they should do. Cannonier, after his next win, I think should probably think about hanging them up, but we'll see what he does, and we'll see if that's a fight that the UFC decides to go with. There you guys have it. Those are my potential matchups the UFC should make after UFC 319. Thank you all for watching this video. Let me know if you agree with my picks in the comments down below. I'll catch you all in the next one.